Okay, this is super exciting. One thing, this is my last video of one video a day during this quarantine, and I have someone very special I get to interview, Ryan Arnold, and he is going to tell us about, I mean, this guy, if you don't know him, then you're missing out and you're living under a rock. So tell us a little bit about you and what you're doing and what you do for work.
Yeah, so I'm the entrepreneurship director at North Idaho College. I've been there for about 3 years now, and I have a really fun job. So I get to create new programs. I get to work with our on-campus makerspace, Gizmo. I'm a board member over there,
Love,
and
a huge shout out.
I know they're fantastic. And I think the funnest thing I get to do is work with entrepreneurs who kind of give me energy to do my job. So we have a few different programs that we host on campus. We do a lot of partnership opportunities. We were just talking offline about some grants that we submit, try to bring more funding to the community. So it's a pretty varied role, but it's really cool. And I have the privilege of doing it with NIC. So yeah.
That's awesome. No, I've heard you speak a few times. I think you did a women's entrepreneur. You've done a lot of really cool speaking. And as an entrepreneur, my side hustle, I mean, it's something we love to do and someone to guide you and help you. I think it's amazing that you guys are doing that. So
Thank you.
So what else do you do in this community? I know you're involved in other things as well. Maybe dive into you about the Gizmo or anything else that you want to plug in there.
Yeah, so I serve on the board of Gizmo, which is a lot of fun here locally. So if you don't know about it, it's a nonprofit makerspace. We've got 11,000 square feet of tools and mentors and resources. So if you want to make something, this is the place to go, right? And you can take a class, you can become a member. And if you're a business, you can leverage all the things we have there to maybe launch your next Etsy store or project that you want to do. So that's how we sort of collaborated at NIC. I serve on a lot of different committees. I won't list them all, but I get to work with, WSU, University of Idaho, kind of our regional educational landscape. And I think the biggest project I took on this year was the Northwest Entrepreneur Competition. So this competition's been around for about 15 years. Whitworth and Gonzaga have hosted it in the past, and now NIC manages it hand in hand with the Spokane University District. So we give away about $42,000 this year. Was cash awards, and this goes to students. They can be from NIC, but also from University of Idaho. We had people from UW down to ISU compete this year. So we had 111 teams submit.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then we had to turn it all online because of COVID-19. So it was a big transition to go from a live event to then doing all this on Zoom. But last couple months.
Yeah. Well, with Gizmos, real quick, is I love Barb. I've known Barb for a very long time when she was in her other location. The 3D printing is amazing. The fabric cutting stuff, the fabric design stuff they can do, it blows my mind. And the classes they offer, I mean, it's amazing. But with like when you were saying, you were planning this, entrepreneur event and COVID hit. So tell me how COVID has and the stay-at-home order has affected you in your life and your job.
Yeah, so it's kind of been interesting in a lot of different ways. I think we're going through the same thing. I know we were chatting about some of the things you're going to have to do with your events. I had to do similar things. So the NEC competition was one. We have an Amazon Small Business Academy that we partnered with Amazon directly on, and it was going to be for small businesses and entrepreneurs that wanted to learn about online selling. This was supposed to be launched in April, right when all the lockdowns started to begin. So we actually turned that into an online class, and we're going to be doing it, and it's live. So it's not just you're getting a slide deck. We have a live instructor here locally. We discounted it like 70% to help local organizations that really need to diversify. So a lot of our stuff has just gone online. Education is flexible in that way, but it's also challenging because we didn't plan for it. So I think the first month was just a scramble of, moving back to my home office where my wife Jamie works right over there, and getting used to that system. We've got a 3-year-old kid, and he was out of daycare for the first couple months. So learning how to juggle that responsibility and just figuring out how to work as a team at NIC.
Yeah.
Right at the end of spring semester. So how do we work with students? How do we complete? And then how do we look towards the fall? So it's been interesting. And I just made a hire, somebody out of Minnesota. So I'm working with him right now. He started remote this week, and we're moving him hopefully here in June. So a lot of different ways it's affected us, but the same way we feel pretty lucky. We can still do the work. We can still reach out to entrepreneurs, and we can still hire talent. So
that's exciting.
good.
So I guess how positive, how has the stay at home, whether it's personally or with your work, how has it affected you in a positive way? What are the positive things you're seeing from the stay at home?
Yeah, I think for kind of the business service providers, collaboration in a way that we haven't seen before. So, I work with the chambers and the EDCs, and I've been doing a thing called the North Idaho Business Leaders Call around COVID-19. So we've been bringing together guest speakers just like you're doing, but around some of the business resources. We've had legislators on the call, and just working together on that's been really great. There's a lot of funding out here right now regarding the CARES Act. And so it's going to schools and municipalities, and it's coming through a lot of different funnels. So we've been seeing kind of interesting kind of partnerships come out of this. It's been a lot of square dancing to figure out who can do on what to get done, quickly and efficiently as possible. But it's been, I think, fun in that respect, that there's some cool things coming out. I know that it's really challenging out there. And that's, I think, with my team, about 3 weeks into the first lockdown, we had a talk about, how this changes how we work with entrepreneurs, that it's not maybe as an exciting moment anymore that they're going out on their own, but it's something where they're challenged to have to do it, right? It's something that they're going to have to do as part of, being their own business. So how does that conversation change? And that's kind of the other side of the coin, is it's challenging as well. So positivity, but a lot of challenges in our community.
Yeah, and I think the creativity that comes from this, when you're set into a time where you have to be creative, some neat things are coming out of it. And like, I'm even our nonprofits out there, which is my wheelhouse, and some of these entrepreneurs, but it's like you're getting creative on how you raise money, or getting creative on how you do these things, because it won't go back to normal. It'll be something different. And so
Right.
I think that's probably what you do, is that you have to be very creative in how you do things now.
Absolutely. So I don't know if you caught Naomi with the Children's Village money raised the other day, but
5,000.
it's awesome. So look at that for creativity. So there's ways for nonprofits to adapt. It's not going to be big venue, big event things anymore, right? And or at least for the foreseeable future. So it's challenging, but I think there's still opportunity out there.
I agree completely. So a fun question: favorite restaurant in Coeur d'Alene?
Oh, I ate Moontime last night for dinner, so they're probably my shout out. I did that on Community Experiment Podcast too, gave them a plug, but we typically go kind of the triad. It's Fire, Capone's, and Moontime, right? So
The classics.
staples.
Yes, they're the perfect places. I know, I live right behind Moontime, so
Right on.
great location. Favorite music or band?
Ooh, I listen to way too much weird stuff to even name anything. So I will plug. I got the opportunity to go to Japan about a year and a half ago solo. So that was a lot of fun. And I saw Me First and the Gimme Gimmes over there, which was a 90s punk band, band, and they just happened to be playing there. So that's probably my favorite concert I've been to recently. And probably the last one I'll be at for a while. But yeah.
That's the unfortunate, is I'm a band person too. I love live music, and so that's going to be difficult. So what is one piece of advice you would give a younger you?
I think what I've learned is to say yes to things, even if you're scared or don't want to do them. There's an opportunity around the corner of the next one. And I've said yes a lot in the last couple of years to things that really were not my wheelhouse, and that did scare me a lot of the times. And it's turned out to be beneficial. I'm a somewhat capable adult at this point where I can do those things. So, but it's led to a lot of opportunities. So I can track back to where and what I'm doing now based on some of the decisions I made 5 or 10 years ago, and said, yeah, I'm going to try that out. Or maybe it's not my wheelhouse, but let's give it a shot. And some of those opportunities turned out really bad. I learned a lot about myself, about saying yes to things and realizing they are not for you. And that's been being in different industries, having different jobs, and realizing what I do and do not want to do. I mean, I think those are both really important things to understand. So there's a lot of opportunities out there, right? You can be anybody you want to be in a certain way, but you're not meant to be everything. So you got to figure that out.
Exactly. So how can the community support you right now?
I think there's a few things. If there's entrepreneurs or people that are looking for business resources or assistance, I'm one of many programs that can help, but I'm always happy to be the first touch point. And even if I don't have the program or the educational class that's really going to help that person, I probably know who can. I had the opportunity to work in Spokane for years and run an entrepreneurship program there, and I got to work with people across the state of Washington and Idaho. So just contacting me, it's helpful for my program if I'm helping somebody else. That's always good, and I would just say be good to each other. Right now, it's pretty tough for a lot of people, so just support each other. And I know that's what our community is about.
Yeah, and that's what was my next question was, can you give one piece of advice to anyone watching, whether it's in our community or outside of our community, something positive, especially we are dealing with, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, or even financially? What's something you can, piece of positive advice you can leave us with?
I would say, we're watching a lot of our leaders make decisions that are really difficult and challenging, and there's not a right or wrong answer. There's just answers right now, and we don't know what's happening around COVID-19 or what the future is going to hold. And I just know that myself, my program, the school I work for, and a lot of the community members I work with are trying our best. So even if you don't agree, at least throw your support in their decision and the process that hopefully went behind that. So I feel for those people that are going to have to do some major things here that a lot of people are going to be angry about.
Yeah.
But know that a lot of people have best intention. So, give them the best in that sense.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Ryan. I really appreciate it. And thanks for being my last video of this challenge. I appreciate you.
I'm so glad I made the cut. So good luck with your podcast series.
Thank you so much.
All right. Talk to you later.